G'day guys, Duckville here. We're going to watch a game from the ALBabyKnight replay pack. You may have seen that on Team Liquid. It's down in the description if you want to see some of these matches here from ALBabyKnight. He is part of Absolute Legends, a team that actually just merged or bought out with Isahara. You may know Isahara, the team that has Hongen and Maka. If you've been missing Maka, he's on Absolute Legends now, as they're called. As we can see here, ALBabyKnight, aka Baby K, is going to be starting on the left-hand side of Metropolis here. This is the GSL version, which is why we've got some crazy colours here at the moment. And okay, wow, he's not going to actually start out with a wall. This is one reason why I love Baby K and how he plays. He doesn't always do the walling off against Zerg. His Zerg opponent up here is from Type Gaming. It is Phoenix. Also, you may know Real from Type Gaming, great little team over in Germany, doing some good things with some of their players. Also have some other players on their team. I can't actually remember everyone on the team, but some really decent players in that team, and hopefully we'll see some more of them very soon. As I was saying, this is probably going to be our feature player here is Baby K. He's pretty much the player. I don't know, if you watch my stream, you'll know that I like to do DTs a lot. This is the dude that inspired me to do a bit of DT play with one of his particular openings that he was using quite a lot in his previous replay pack, and it was really fun to do. So wondering what we'll see out of Baby K today. Not actually walling off at all. The best way to do this is to get your pylon down straight away. Don't scout straight away. You need to scout after you get the gateway down. Then what you can do is, okay, he's not going to do it this time, but I think he was just a little bit caught out perhaps. But what you can do is put a pylon down here, either in the sort of more standard position or in the better position, which is across to the side, and then actually wall off with your cybernetics core and get a second gate if need be. And then what you can do with that is then just wall off as you normally would. Normally, of course, as most Zerg players will do, is try and get their expansion up before they even go for something crazy like an early pull. So if you're wondering, what if my opponent does an early pull and I don't wall off and I do it like Baby K has here? Well, you know, you can be in a lot of trouble. If you use some really good probe micro, you can do it. That's one thing I'll say. This is one of these strats that is actually, ironically, works better at high level, where people don't do crazy sorts of early stuff or cheese or anything like that. But if you do it at something like anything lower than like platinum or anything like that, you probably will get caught out, because people will just do all sorts of crazy timings. They'll get their pool at, you know, like a 12 pool or something like that, or anything earlier than 12 is probably going to catch this out quite easily. So just be a bit aware of that. But enough of that ranting. Of course, if you have liked my Facebook page, please, I love you for that. Make sure you jump on facebook.com/duckvillelol/ nope, it's facebook.com/duckvillelolsc2. That's the one. And make sure you like that page there. It is going to help me out a great deal with a few things that are coming up. But speaking of things coming up, we've got some links just busting in here. They're going to be able to take down that pylon if they are, if Baby K is not careful here. Bringing out the probe to help out with this defense. Going to be building a forge just down here to try and get that cannon up as soon as he can. The two sentries able to defend that. It is quite honourable of them. Of course, it's not often you see sentries doing some good defense against lings like that without the use of force fields, but Baby K doing a great job with that. He's just chronoing out these sentries as fast as he can. Needs to get those out just in case your opponent does some weird and wacky things with lings. But for the moment, Phoenix is just doing all sorts of things that are standard and good, which is getting up a third base very quickly. Always need to try and do that against a Protoss player who is doing a fast expand. Now, the reason he didn't actually get that earlier is probably because he wasn't actually sure what Baby K was up to. Until those lings got in, I don't think this Overlord would have actually seen that the natural expansion was up. So always got to be aware of these sorts of things that can go down. Gateways are going to switch over into warp gates very soon, probably just after this sentry pops out. Very nicely timed there from Baby K. He's going to have 3 gates in total. We don't have a cannon just yet, because he's obviously aware that there is not going to be too much pressure from his opponent just yet. He scouted out the pool, didn't actually see the extractor, but was assuming that the hatch was going to finish up, and then that there probably will be a third as well. So all things considered, it's kind of standard, despite the opening from BabyK there. He's got a couple of extra gates going up. Wow, there's going to be quite a few. We're going to have a total of 7 gates in this big group here from BabyK. In fact, hang on, have I actually counted correctly? Yes, I have. I've been troubled with my maths lately, but that's going to be quite a lot. And look, just looking at these sentries here, he's going to have all sorts of force fields available as well, because there are so many of these sentries here. In fact, even getting an extra one. So we're going to have a total of 7 sentries available. A Zealot just warping in to guard this position here. You don't want to let any crazy Lings in. I think that Phoenix may have seen that, but he's definitely going to see it now, because there is a Ling camping out at that watchtower. He's going to lose his tent and his camp post. What is it? Tent post, that's what I mean. Losing 1 sentry, though, a little bit unfortunate there for BabyK. Looks as if Phoenix is going to try and get back inside the natural expansion. Not going to happen. The Cannon and the Zealot saying no to that. Looks as if BabyK is going to just push up now and try and get his pylons going. If he can get it, he'll be able to warp in quite a bunch of these units here. Keep in mind, +1 is just about to finish here, and he's going to bring in a good mix of Stalkers and Zealots into this group as well. So he's going to lose his pylon, there's no doubt about that. The Lings just biding their time and waiting for the correct time to get in there, and it looks as if the force fields, while decent to keep the Roaches out of retreating from the battle, maybe not the best, because they did push them into range of the sentries. The sentries have actually gone down now, which is no good at all. We have taken care of those Roaches. There are more units now warping in for BabyK. He's going to push inside, needs to block off that ramp, does that very well here. He's now just pushing across. He's got to be very careful with how he micros. He's got to get those Zealots onto the drones if he can, or perhaps back here to defend, because there were 22 Lings in production. More of them now coming out as well. We've got 8 on the way. This is not the greatest way to start off the game here from BabyK, but he's making what's worth of what he can. He's going to lose these sentries and this Stalker in the end, no doubt about that, but he is certainly produced a lot of kills, in the form of the fact that he's killed a few of those drones there. I think we saw, yeah, there was 8 kills on the drones. He has also been able to force quite a lot of these units here. As we can see, there are Lings and Roaches all over the place, and this has caused quite a lot of damage. And even behind this, we've actually got BabyK just poking out with a couple of these Zealots, and he may be able to get some good damage. He's not going to kill the hatchery, but he's certainly going to do quite a lot of damage there, and may be able to come back another day and fight with that hatchery. But for the moment, he is going to have to retreat. So I'd say, you know, I'm not actually sure if that was a fully successful attack. I'd say that's perhaps on par. It's sort of dependent on how he's going to proceed from here. It looks as if on the drone count, the worker count I should say, he's actually sitting at a total of 37. So he's actually reasonably even with Phoenix here. But the problem is that Phoenix is going to do crazy stuff like this and just say, you know what, buddy, I'm going to make another 7 drones, and that's that. And he has certainly done that right now. He's not really sure what he's going for in his tech just yet. He is getting +1 to the Carapace here. That could signal that we're going to see something with quite a lot of Lings and perhaps some Infestors as well. Not really sure just yet, but for the moment, BabyK getting in another cannon to help defend. The Robo is just completing now. There are a lot of units just out the front here. He's got to be very careful with that. A Changeling just saying, excuse me, coming through. I'm just going to walk inside that base. Not going to happen. Stalker says no. And speaking of saying no, an Overlord just down the bottom side here is just creeping up this base, being quite annoying with that goo. And we've got a couple of Lings just around the map, getting really good vision here. I'm loving the way that Phoenix is playing this out. He's got quite a lot of vision. He's getting his economy up. 6 more drones on the way. We got extractors going up everywhere. He's already got the 4 inside the main and the natural, and looks as if he may try and go for a push here. There is an Immortal out, so it's not going to be the greatest idea to try and bust through this with the cannons, the sentries, the Stalkers, and then the Immortals. It's probably not going to be the best idea to try and hit up this attack here. We'll have to see what BabyK is going to do. It looks as if he may just try and look to push out here. You might be able to catch these Zerg units while they're just bouncing around here. An Immortal just walking out, and he's going to walk into quite a lot of these Lings and the Roaches as well. This fight could go either way. I'm not actually sure how this is going to go. It's going to be very dependent on those force fields. Of course, the Lings going to be able to do a lot of damage here. Trying to catch out a couple of the Roaches. Not actually getting any of those, unfortunately for him, but he is going to be able to warp in a few more units here, just building a pylon in this very random and cool position here. A little bit surprising to see that, but the Spire is done. We don't have any mutas just as of yet, do we? No, we don't. So no mutas just at the moment. Here he is, just morphing in one right now. We're probably going to have a few more. It looks as if he's actually supply blocked, and that's the reason why. The attack now coming in here from Phoenix is discovered. There is a little bit of a flaw here, but he is not able to capture that at all, and actually blocking out quite a lot of those units. The Lings and the Roaches going down. It's very swiftly there with quite a very decent force here from Baby K. He's got a couple of Immortals. We've got these Zealots with their +1 to weapons and +1 to armor. The Stalkers also in the mix. These Sentries have quite a decent amount of energy there as well, and a couple of the Roaches just perhaps misrallied there from Phoenix, and he's not going to be able to get in there at all. But he is trying to just trying to bounce around. Now, what Phoenix is trying to do here is just trying to keep Baby K back in his base. Doesn't want to let him walk across the map and get a pylon up or get any sort of attack going. So he's just going to try and really occupy his time with these Roaches just sort of hanging around, being really annoying, and not letting him push across. So we'll see what happens with that. Twilight Council finally on the way here from ALBabyKnight. He's just going to come down here and get rid of these destructible debris that lead down to the third base. Of course, he's also going to need to get rid of this Phoenix Overlord that was hanging around as well. Muta's trying to come through, but Baby K well prepared for that. Has a few of these Stalkers inside the main. The Blink is going to need to be chronoed as fast as it can, because that needs to get up as swiftly as possible. Of course, you don't want to be dealing with Mutas without quite a lot of Blink Stalkers on the map, or perhaps some Storms. We'll see if that is the tech path that ALBabyKnight is going to go for, but just at the moment, he's going to have to wait quite a while. These changelings are not going to have a fun time at all. They're just going to stand around and be quite annoying here. Baby K not spotting that just yet. Now he does, getting rid of those, and down they go. Muta's just up the top side here, just trying to get some damage done, picking up that randomly placed pylon that was just outside the base. Behind this, we've got Phoenix picking up his 4th and 5th bases here. He's going to get them up. They're going to be quite easy to get going here. This map, of course, is absolutely insanely huge. As we can see, there are bases all over the place. We've got these 2 island maps that are covered with a creep trimmer as well. There's a little bit of creep there that gets in the way, which is just a little bit unfortunate here. But speaking of unfortunate, these Mutas just sweeping through the top of the base here, going to take down the cannon that was nicely snug as a bug in a rug behind those pylons, but are going to lose 2 of those Mutas while the attack was going on. But the Muta count is getting higher and higher here for Phoenix. He's up to 24. We've got another 2 on the way, +1 to air attacks coming through as well, and it looks as if Baby K is going to have to be very careful about where and when he defends some of these bases here, because if he puts too many units inside the main, he's going to be vulnerable to attack at the front, not to mention at this third base here, and it looks as if Phoenix is actually getting prepared for that, and just while that's all going, Baby K he's really being a little bit worried about what's going on here. This observer can see that the Roachling army is just across to the side. He's going to see that the Mutas are here now as well. Going to need to bring these Stalkers down if he wants to keep this attack, but blocking out those Roaches. Beautiful timing there on those on the force fields, and actually that second group of Stalkers comes down and is easily able to dispose of quite a lot of these Roaches here. The Mutas are going to have to retreat. The Roaches are doing their best to retreat, but they are not going to get too far. Blink Stalkers say no to Roaches, and that is going to be that attack there for Phoenix. It brought him down to 150 supply. I don't think he's going to be too worried about that. I mean, look at all these spine crawlers he's got here. He's got quite a lot. He's probably going to move these up into this sort of main section of the map here for him in just a moment, but just saturating those 4th and 5th bases. We've got some drones just coming along to the base across to the side here. They're going to help out in getting some mining operations going. Speaking of which, Baby K has got some Templar prepared. Storm is ready. He's got energy on a couple of these just hanging around the main mineral line of each base, and he's going to be ready for those Mutas if they come across again. So, and there is that big switch of those spine crawlers. This is absolutely insane. The worker count for these players currently sitting at 88 for Phoenix, currently sitting at 60 for ALBabyKnight at the moment. So he's going to be getting that the Great Aspire tech there, going to be getting those Brood Lords up as fast as he can. There is a Nidus network. I'm not sure what this is going to be for. Perhaps he's going to try and get a Nidus inside the main. There is actually vision all over here for ALBabyKnight, so he's not going to be able to miss that, I would hope. But perhaps he's going to get some reinforcements going, or perhaps, okay, very crazy. I've never seen anyone do this before. Phoenix is going to use the Nidus Worm to get across to the main base. One trick I don't see people do very often is Nidus Worm in, and you actually put the Nidus Worm like right here, and then you can auto, I think you can still do it, you can auto cast so that it releases the units that are inside, rally it onto the mineral patches, and then just have the drones actually just mining through the Nidus Worm. And what they'll do is return to the Nidus Worm and then try and get it back into the hatchery that they're nearby to. So I don't know, people don't do that very often. I'm not sure if it's just that you can't do it anymore, or if no one actually decides that it's a good idea, but I'm pretty sure that is still a cool option to do. Not to mention, as I said, it's just very cool to do. But back in terms of what's going on here in the game, we've got a lot of lings out here for Phoenix. He's got, how many has he got? He's actually got 52 lings out on the map here, but Storm is going to have a field day with that. The Templar do get picked off though, and of course one of them is going to have to switch into an Archon. These big clumps of mutas are going to have a fun time dealing with those Stalkers, but now it's not going to be as fun. We've got some Stalkers approaching from the side. Inside the main base, there is still a big bunch of those, and they are ready and willing to go to town on those mutas if they come across. But ALBabyKnight has just made himself very turtled up here. He's got quite a lot of these cannons in the third base, as well as the Templar that's there as well. We've also got, as we said, Templar in each mineral line, just to make sure, except for this one, there's no mineral line at all. You can't defend that one. And it looks as if, wow, Phoenix is also going to take the opposing island base here, is going to just release that drone and get that out on the map. Meanwhile, ALBabyKnight now getting across the map here. There are a lot of spine crawlers. I would not to mention the fact that there are infestors behind all of this. I'm not even sure this is the greatest idea with even if they weren't there, but he is going to push across. He's going to try and get some damage done. Where are those mutas for Phoenix? They're just hanging out to the side for the moment. Wants to keep them out of the battle. There is still quite a lot of damage potential in there for those Stalkers, but they are getting ripped apart, getting poked in the eye by those spine crawlers, getting fungal all over their shirt as well, and that is not cool. You have to put that in the washing machine straight away. But busting down those infestors with those feedbacks there, and just in time, it looks as if we are going to have the Broodlord army coming into the mix. The Phoenix's mutas trying to fly over here. Some storms going down, brilliantly placed there, getting the along with the lings, they're also getting the broodlings as well. Not to mention some of those Phoenix that were caught in the side of that. But I think that ALBabyKnight is going to have to retreat. He may be able to capture these Mulists before they head back. I don't know if he's going to be able to. The Broodlords slowly approaching, waddling their way down the map. Some Templar warping in, along with some extra Zealots to help defend as well. And a good little bit of micro here, making sure these are being as cost effective as possible. ALBabyKnight does retreat. So Phoenix doing some good defense there. He bought quite a lot of time, as we mentioned, with those 60 billion spine crawlers that he had prepared at that sort of main passageway to his base. And that really helped him soak up a lot of the damage, get him a lot of time to get these Broodlords out, and then along with the already huge damage that was done by the fungal and the spine crawlers, he was actually able to defend that quite nicely. So now coming inside, it looks as if the lings are going to try and do a run by here. They are going to get through. There is actually no gate to block off there, and it looks as if they are going to get inside the main. A nice little run by here. Meanwhile, ALBabyKnight getting a fourth base up down at the side of the map. I think that might be a little bit too late, but he's still getting these lings just running through, doing all sorts of damage. He can take you down 2 of the pylons, perhaps a couple of the units as well. And that was a nice little run by there by him to get some good damage done. We've got a really good sort of tech now coming out from ALBabyKnight. He's got the Void Rays on the way. We've got, of course, the Stalkers on +3 to weapons, +1 to armor. He still actually has no idea about this island base, but I think from the sound of the Nidus Worm, you can actually assume that it's there. This observer just scouting out exactly what tech is here, but of course he should know that pretty much everything is available for Phoenix right now, as the game is currently in the 27-minute mark. We've had quite a lot of insane battles going on across the map, and it looks as if BabyK is going to try and re-establish his dominance here. The Mutalisk just flying around, getting some good scouting going on. Of course, Phoenix is still not taking this base, which is a little bit surprising. There he goes. He's just got to get rid of that creep trimmer that was in the way. Does eventually get rid of it and puts the hatchery down, and he's going to be on a total of 7 bases once this gets mining. Of course, a couple of these aren't going to be mining fully by the time that 7th one is up, but 7 bases, I tell you what, that is definitely nothing to complain about at this stage of the game. He doesn't actually have any macro hatches, so that could be an interesting part there, but what he does have is really nice vision. As we can see here, these overlords covering a really nice part of the map here. He's got them in these positions just across to the side, as well as this bottom side of the map as well, so he's got some really good vision across the map. Both of these players just sort of in a little bit of a stalemate position at the moment. There's no way that BabyK wants to attack into this massive sort of Broodlord Infestor force, not to mention these the new assortment of the Great Wall of Spine just inside that main passageway there, so he's not going to be able to really attack into that just yet. But also, Phoenix can't really attack in just yet until he really gets this Broodlord count going. Of course, the one big threat that you come across in late game is the Mothership, which is currently just warping in. She's going to be on the way. She's just under halfway done at the moment, and we'll have to see how BabyK deals with this. He did actually get a Warp Prism across the island here, dropping down a couple of Archons. He's going to get some Zealots in the mix here as well. The Phoenix now coming across. Are they going to be able to... sorry, the Phoenix. I keep saying the Phoenix because his name's Phoenix. It's really annoying. The Muta's coming along from Phoenix and actually disposing of that Warp Prism before it can cause any more damage, but the Archons are still here. That's effectively going to deny this base for quite a while, because the only way that Phoenix is going to be able to get to that base at the moment is with the Mutalisk or the Broodlords, and of course you don't want to send all this big group of Broodlords across the map to this sort of position, when realistically you could be attacked right here at one of these fresher bases, which is what we're probably going to see ALBabyKnight go for once he actually gets this this sort of tech and his good position going. He's actually getting the upgrades for +1 shields. Not often you see that, but he is getting that going along now. Also +1 to the air weapons as well. That's really going to help out with the Void Rays and the Phoenix as well. So we'll have to see how long this sort of stalemate goes, but a second Warp Prism is out, and it looks as if he's going to get across to the main base here. I don't know how long these Archons are going to last, not to mention there's not actually that much to hit here. While they do powerful damage, they don't actually do it very fast, so he's not going to be able to kill much of those tech buildings. Oh wow, what he does do though is just absolutely annihilate those larvae that were sitting there at the base, and he actually gets rid of 1, 2, maybe 3 of these Infestors. Yes, he does. Gets rid of 3 of those Infestors. That's not too bad considering what he could have done with those with the Archons, but just having a look, I thought we had a massive attack here from Phoenix, but no, it's actually just a massive run by of these Changelings. Getting inside, getting some good scouting done. He can see what's going on here, sees that the Mothership is available for ALBabyKnight there, and can see that the Void Ray production has started as well, so things will start to get very messy soon. Of course, any Zerg player will know that once the Mothership is out, you've got a good laser death ball with these Stalkers, Void Rays, and even Colossus as well. Things can get very, very unfortunate for a Zerg at that sort of stage of the game. But just having a look at what's going on at the moment, we've still got good mining going on here from Phoenix. These guys just sort of sitting back for the moment. I don't know if we had a 30-minute no rush sort of situation planned here, but both of them just sort of sitting back. As I said, it's sort of that stalemate position. But I would not be surprised if BabyK looks to attack very soon. He might want to try and get another base going. If he could take something like this, which would be really nice, it'd be quite good for him, because coming across here is good because, number one, you're coming across to the side of the map where you actually have the fresher bases for you, as we can see here. Oh wow, he's actually going to lose a couple of these probes here, perhaps even all those important probes on the gas, and he does he get it? There's one more probe. He doesn't actually get it, but the, oh, there he goes. He finally gets it. And the mutas retreat once they know that the stalkers are on the way. As I was saying, and in fact, it looks as if we do have an attack here. A storm combination drop here. That's got some zealots and a Templar in that big group of units that were dropped in. Unfortunately, not doing too much. There are a whole heap of spine crawlers here to defend for Phoenix, so he was able to deflect that with ease. The warp prism going down to the mutas as well. As I was saying before, we were rudely interrupted by a battle going on. Taking this base would be nice because it's towards your opponent's fresher bases, of course, being these ones just across to this side here. And also it means that you can warp in it close to where your newest base is and defend it quite easily, which is, of course, one of the best mottos for when you're expanding in mid to late game. So we'll see what happens here. The mutas being thrown away. I don't think they're going to be needed here because we have a grand total of 20 Broodlords here, along with 14 Infestors underneath them. We've got the Infestors being covered as well by those Overseers. They're going to be able to provide them with vision. Interestingly enough, the mothership is not actually in the battle just yet, so I think perhaps Phoenix is maybe just a little bit confused as to what's going on there, but what he's not going to be confused about is the power of these Broodlords. They've currently got 3/3 on their armor and weapons. Of course, that means a 26 damage Broodling strike, plus the extra damage that the Broodlings will do, given that they do have, they've got +2 on their armor and weapons. So Phoenix is going to be in a very nice spot to launch some sieging attacks perhaps across this ridge here, and just sort of slowly push across. He doesn't want to, of course, group up at all. Wow, like these changelings that are just hanging out. But here we go. It looks as if we may be up to the battle time here. We've got a very nice mix of laser units here for Baby K. He's currently sitting on a big total of those of the Void Rays here, and the battle is on. It looks as if we've got some really nice storms here. The Corruptors of Phoenix are going to town on the mothership as best as they can, but the Vortex goes down, a second one as well, and all of these units should really just jump inside and then get a whole heap of damage done. But it looks as if Baby K making the most of what he can, bringing a couple of these Stalkers across to the side, taking down some of the Broodlords there. The Archon Toilet in effect, busting down all of those Broodlords. Storm also on top of the Broodlords as well, ripping all of them down. The Broodlords are just getting absolutely annihilated. The Void Rays will finish off that party cake, and the mothership, still alive, is going to be able to fight another day. The Colossi that were also underneath this very powerful attack are also doing quite a lot of damage here. The Corruptors coming along, they're going to need to get rid of this this mothership if they want to try and get some good reveals going. But of course there are quite a lot of Overseers here, which is, as we said, a little bit of an interesting part here, but it's very good for Phoenix to have that. But this base gets denied. The Spinecrawler army gets destroyed here as well, and it looks as if Phoenix is going to have to retreat to just sort of bide his time and just fight in just a moment here. Of course, Baby K is now pushing across. He's getting what damage he can. A random infestors walking along here. More Stalkers coming in to try and reinforce their brethren. +3. Wow, I didn't actually realize that. +3 to shields is actually done before +1 to before +2 to armor for Baby K there. We'll get back into that later, but there is another big push here. We've got lots of Void Rays still in the mix. 5 of those, along with the 4 of these Colossi as well. Random storms going down on top of Changelings, which is perhaps not the best use of his storm, but he is still going to be able to do some more damage here. The Broodlord is just trying to come across and try and get some more damage on these, firstly on the Colossus and also those Stalkers as well. Do get a couple of the random Stalkers just stuck at the back here, and it looks as if Baby K is going to have to retreat for the time being. He's just perhaps a little bit shy of enough Stalkers to deal with the Broodlord army, especially when there are Spine Crawlers here. There's also a Spore Crawler to help out with the air defense, and there he is. He's actually taking this side base here. So once we see probably a couple more pylons and then a whole heap of cannons to just sort of defend this area, which is, well, that's what I do, but then again, I am not Baby K, but once he gets that up, he's going to be in a really good position to really just fortify himself here and then launch all of his counterattacks through this right side of the map. And with an extra mothership on the way and +3 to air weapons coming through as well, along with +2 to armor, things are going to be looking very good for Baby K very soon. Phoenix is going to have to pull something out very quickly here, and that is of course the problem with late game Protoss versus Zerg, is that you sort of fall into this area where, alright, I'm going to do some damage with Broodlords, but I'm going to need to spread them out really, really well. That is a big key of engaging here, and also your engagement position is also a very key part as well. What you don't want to do is sort of engage on a very wide area, like this sort of, the attack that took place down here, while it's very thin up here, that's where most of Baby K's forces was, and he was able to, or hang on, where was it? Sorry, it was over here. While there's that big sort of position here where you can't actually do anything, the Stalkers were able to blink across the side here. The 2 Vortexes went down as well, and were able to capture quite a lot of those Broodlords. If we had have seen a little bit of a better spread here for Phoenix just along this sort of ridge here, that would have been a little bit nicer for him, but unfortunately was caught out by the timing from BabyKnight, and we'll see what happens here. Looks as if there is a Warp Prism. What is this Warp Prism up to? He's just hanging around the side. There is he going to pick up some, perhaps, might be able to get a Storm drop here just at the back, put down a couple of Templar, and then just sort of drop those Storms right on top of those drones. That would be quite interesting. But no, it actually, wow, he's actually going to bring across a Colossus. A little bit surprised to see that, but of course Colossus outranges these Spine Crawlers because of the extra range bonus. Now the Spine Crawler, one of the Spine Crawlers is going to work on the Colossus here, and we're going to have some very funky little some sickness style Prism Micro here from Baby K, and he's doing a little bit of damage there. Very nice to bring out those Zealots to get some good work going there as well, and they're going to be actually the main damage dealers here. It's quite interesting to see, but the Spine Crawlers are slowly going down. It looks as if Baby K is going to have his way with this base. Some extra Zealots just warping in now as well. There are some Corruptors just coming across. They're going to be easily able to clean up the Colossus and the Warp Prism, but not before the damage is already done. The Zealots are on the ground. They should probably try and get this Nidus Worm before any reinforcement units can come in, but realistically there aren't too many reinforcements here. Phoenix has invested just about everything into this force that he has, this main very deadly army that he has of 18 Corruptors, 14 Infestors, and 12 Broodlords. So he's got quite a lot here, just putting up a couple of infested Terrans here, and he's now going to just investigate what's going on. These guys were just to see what was on the other side of the smoke, but here we go. We are going to have perhaps the big final battle here from these two players. We've got Baby K at 187 supply, Phoenix at 182, a big Vortex going down. That's actually going to catch quite a lot of the units there. The Broodlord's just off to the side, Storms going on all over the place. Phoenix trying to use that trick of throwing in the infested Terran eggs. We'll see if that actually makes a difference here. There are some big units in here and a massive storm going on there. Capchi, that is actually doing so much damage there. The Broodlords are still alive to some extent, but extra storms along with the massive amount of Stalkers here should seal this for Baby K, but there are... Okay, there's actually some Broodlords off to the side here, and he's actually done so much damage there. The Broodlords is trying to do what they can, but I think that may be it. Phoenix is down to 104 supply. Baby K is currently at 132. Is he bringing in some more units? He's got double Colossi on the way. More Stalkers are being built as well. That is going to be a huge Stalker total here. 35 and a GG from Phoenix. He's had enough of this game, and despite getting some really good map presence here, he was just not really able to force the issue once it got past a certain point. Once Baby K had really good defense with the Templar, the cannons at the various bases that he had, the Mutas weren't able to do much. He lost this the island base, of course, and then also started losing some of his extra bases. And then once the mining goes out and the very beautiful double vortex goes down, and you lose that first big group of Broodlords, you're in trouble town, and that's where TypePhoeNix was in for the day. So great win for BabyKnight there. As I said, replay pack is down in the description. You can go and check out some of his replays there. He's a very good player, top 20 GM on EU, just to bear in mind. So that's something to say there. So hope you guys enjoyed that very extensive match. It was a lot of fun, and I'll catch you all next time. Cheers.